I'm a big Tommy Morrison fan, even though he was a reprobate, he was a degenerate, he was dangerous, but there was something very likable about Tommy, you know? Unfortunately, he, pum pum, drink, drugs took him away, especially pum pum, yeah? The silk purse took him away, And, but at some point, there's some very weird stuff that happened in that career. I think he was still a Christian, even though he was a wayward one, and I felt like he couldn't. He was told to do certain things by Illuminati, and he wouldn't do it, and it destroyed his career. Now, this is where it gets important, and again, I was going to do a full video on this about 2 years ago, but I haven't, so I'm just going to get it out now. But since Tommy Morrison allegedly, right? He allegedly tested positive for the AIDS, the HIV, and he died young, poor guy, right? But I looked into this, and it's come out, right? In 2020, in 2022, these kind of things, you find a lot of articles on it. If you go on Google and put Tommy Morrison, did he have the virus, the AIDS? Yeah. And Morrison used to say for years he was allegedly a conspiracy theorist. And there's a book by an idiot called Carlos Acevedo that says, it spends half the book just telling him what a bad man he is because he didn't take the medication. Right? But Tommy always said, I ain't got it, right? And what happened? Well, in 2020, and also since then, 2022, results of tests have come out and said that no, he didn't have the virus, man. He did not have the virus. So he was right. And he was, and he's used as a whipping boy. Oh, you've got to take medication. Oh, if you have this scenario, you've got to take medication. Basically just pushing the pharma industry. He refused to do it. Now people go, oh, well, he died, didn't he? He died young. So obviously that proves he had the virus. Well, not really, man. Because, right, the coroner, right, put his cause of death had nothing to do with HIV or whatever. A cardiac arrest. Now, Tommy, unfortunately, was very, what's the word? Susceptible to partying. Yeah, let's just say that, man. He did a lot of partying. Yayo, greens, beer, and he also, I don't know, man, he obviously had some mental issues, and he got all these kind of bizarre surgeries to give him big pecs and big biceps and all this kind of stuff. He was very unwell, a very unwell guy, mentally and physically. And when you see him on his deathbed, I don't know if it's still available. I've seen videos of him, and he's sitting there, and his pec implants are open, and they're pouring blood and guns and all this other kind of stuff. But yeah, so there's people, and you can check it out yourself. Check out on Google, did Tommy Morrison have the AIDS or HIV? And you find articles by sites Sportcasting, which is a serious site. World Boxing News, well, I don't know about that one. But, there are a number of sites that say, actually, he didn't have it, man. He didn't have it. Boxing Scene, he didn't have it, man. Why was this not given? Right, this is so interesting because the big story, the press story at the time was Tom Morrison got the AIDS and the HIV and he couldn't fight. And then it's come out a few years later, no, all these tests were, I think, false positive. He didn't have it. We don't believe he had it. He didn't die of the virus. He died of a cardiac arrest, probably from his lifestyle. Why was this not given, right, any airtime? And you know what happened? A book by, I think it's Carlos Acevedo, came out saying, the first half of the book is him trashing Tommy Morrison, saying he was rubbish, he was never a good fighter, which is just nonsense. He obviously was, He was erratic and, but he was dangerous and exciting. And then the next half of the book is trashing him for not taking medication. So what does that tell you? Well, they don't want to release the story. Why don't they want to release the story? Because, number one, he pushed back against the pharmaceutical industry. He was like, no, I'm not taking that shit. I don't think it works. I don't think I've got the virus. But they kept pushing that because they wanted to use him like Magic Johnson, right? As a symbol to push their disgusting, awful medications on people. Okay? And he pushed back on it. That's my belief. He pushed back on it. And that's why they destroyed him, because he wouldn't play the game. So, and check it out, right? You make your own decisions. So there's a lot of evidence recently that says, no, he didn't have no virus, man. He didn't have the AIDS or the HIV, right? And I believe he was destroyed for that. If you realize how powerful the pharmaceutical industry is and how they have their fingers in media, in government, in movies, then you might take a different look on it. Peace in the Middle East.